let's talk
God, that wasn't very enthusiastic.
bread and butter. I was trying to create a moody atmosphere.
An ambiance, if you will.
Cinematic, if you will, further.
No.
Sourdough and truffle butter, it just means bread and butter stuff. But I like to pick up a higher caliber of bread and butter. Everyone has different bread and butter. Some person's bread and butter might be Nintendo games. Some other person might be Crombie shirts.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Bread and butter comes in all shapes and forms.
Oh, so you can have, but yeah, I take what you're saying.
Let's appreciate.
The fact
was that a TRL t-shirt? Oh no, that's not what I'm thinking of, is it?
You're thinking MTV, weren't you?
Yeah. This is Ted Baker. To be honest with you, we're not massive Ted Baker fans, and this was £30.
But
it was nice, wasn't it?
Gorgeous. The quality and the fabrics, and if it would have been in store, which obviously it would have been at some point, it would have been a lot of money in Ted Baker. I think they wanted, I don't know how much.
30, I just said 30.
So I ignored you.
Listen?
No, I don't listen to you. That's £8. That is I would reckon about early 2000s basketball Nike. It's like an oversized. Not what does it mean? Not when I say
it's
oversized.
A jumper.
Long line. That's what I meant. It's a sweater. It's a jumper. It's something with long sleeves.
Maybe it's not long line. Maybe it's just for tall people because it's basketball.
Do you know what? It could have been, but it said a medium, so maybe you might be right, you know. But to be fair, I think, especially in the mid-2000s, where everything basketball-based was long, and now you say that, it wasn't the fact it was long, it was probably because it was made for taller people.
This is a Rolls-Royce hat, promotional hat, if you will. It was actually only £1.50.
Some of the promotional hats can go for really good money. This particular one is kind of a base level one, if you want, but we'd had a blue one once, didn't we? Do you remember the blue one? And it went for like £45 and it was sold to the States.
Yeah.
So depending on, I mean, you know, age, kind of fabric, and when I say fabric, I mean if it's a hard or a soft hat. This was a vintage NBA Chicago Bulls. I think from the tag around about 90, I want to say between 92 and about 94. Really cool hat. Once again, good colour, good logo, still very vibrant, official. The thing is, when I say official, like anything which is kind of licensed in inverted commas by the NBA or now the individual teams, unless they do kind of every single team in kind of put that through the NBA themselves, is always an official piece, but it depends on who's making it. For example, Mitchell & Ness or Adidas or Nike, anyone can be licensed for it. It just depends on what the item is.
If you haven't guessed, we're talking about everyday items that you can pick up in the clothing sections and hardgoods sections of charity shops.
Hit me with this one.
This is SOCAIL. I love picking up SOCAIL. I really do. I started flying by the rule of 14 plus. I know a lot of people fly by that rule with SOCAIL. However, sometimes I just can't resist. This is like a full length knit. I'm going to put the logo up. That's the logo. So everything sells, but different things sell for different prices. I literally typed in the highest price sold on eBay. And as you can see there, as you can see there, it's a long line knit coat. I don't know if anyone else does it, but I find it really helpful sometimes, just for knowledge, is to find a brand and type it into eBay and click highest sold, and you can see what kind of things are going for the most money from that brand.
I was just saying, just to clarify, you're not trying to say that comp was based on that jacket.
No.
What you're saying is, when people see sea salt and think £25-30 best, there are actually items which sell for multiple hundreds.
Yes.
And that goes for any bread and butter item.
100%. This is a good example of a brand. So this is Aquascutum. A lot of people know Aquascutum and sort of bunch it together with Burberry. Completely different brands, completely different ethos.
Well, because they're both known for checks. They were both very popular in the kind of the football hooligan kind of era. Yeah. And they're also both from the UK.
However, some Aquascutum pieces can do really well. Their classic trench coats do really well, and some of their menswear tailoring can do really well, especially the newer stuff. That having been said, not everything does really well. This coat was out for £40. It wouldn't be something I'd pick up. You would probably get 100 out of it if you pushed it, but it's not that desirable silhouette.
Was it £40?
Yeah.
Oh, that coat, sorry.
No, yeah, 40 quid. At this,
I thought this was at £40. I was like, it says £6.50. You're lying to everyone.
I put an example of Adidas vintage tags up. So if you want to go back, screenshot or whatever, and it'll give you a timeline of what the different tag eras are.
Yeah.
This is 1988 to 1993. Very specific.
My guess as well, just from the actual piece, and I think I don't know if you've had the back shot yet or not, but and even the kind of toweling inside is definitely more 80s than 90s, just as a piece. So I would guess, obviously, when as Bethany said, very late 80s, if not early 90s, but I'm giving towards 80s. Like however, the back there, that kind of pleated. kind of back on a casual jacket.
However, vintage sportswear is something that you see a lot within charity shops. I mean, you see modern and stuff as well, but vintage stuff has a bigger collector's market, has a bigger market in general, for people that are paying a bit more to have certain pieces. There's only so much you can get in the modern day market for clothing, especially.
Yeah.
Trainers is a bit different, we all know that, unless it's a collab. There's so many different avenues, but vintage sportswear is a great place to start if you're just sort of looking for things to buy.
I agree. That was a drawstring backpack. Once again, I reckon, I know, early 2000s kind of Y2K vibes. Once again, go and check the labels again from that label guide. I've got a few of those for different companies. If you want them, just let us know. And yeah, we're going cabinet surfing right now.
In the bottom of this cabinet are some Vijas. I call them Vijas, probably saying it wrong, which is bad of me. I like to say things correctly, but it's Veja. These are actually men's, size 11 they were, £35. Now, this is a really, really cool trainer brand to look out for.
I'm going to say it's a lot more popular, in my opinion, than with ladies than men.
Yes, but it's very Yummy Mummy, and I feel like Yummy Mummy would buy their, like, Yummy husband.
If you're a Yummy Mummy and you wear these, well played.
Yeah, see? But they do go really well. They've done some collaborations, as I just see it shown on screen. However, they, if you can find them new, those were new in box, for example, or used, they have a really good following.
We saw a pair recently, actually.
Yes.
That was me picking up some lint rolls because they were 50p, and I always need lint rolls.
I am not afraid of a bric-a-brac section. I mean, I'm not well accustomed to them.
You're getting more into bric-a-brac, aren't you?
I'm trying. It's like my hobby. So I really like studio pottery, and I really like sort of, I don't know. I don't know the correct terms. So at me in the comments.
I was just going to say, we tend to know nothing about this, but we know what we enjoy. So
yeah.
If there's anything you know or can add to our repertoire as regards this stuff, please let us know.
I call this like squishy pottery.
Oh yeah, that's the official word on that, is it?
Yeah, but I'm really good at looking things up. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm really, because of
you have use of Google?
No, well, because of my descriptive language in doing eBay listings, generally, if I do the title I would put for an eBay listing, I can find it.
I'm with you.
Does that make sense?
If you think in eBay title terms.
Yeah, and there's good money in that kind of pottery. I mean, that one that I just picked up was coming up at about 25 to 30. I mean, if you're picking these things up for £1, £2, £3, then that's the same. That's bread and butter money.
Yeah, and actually, I don't, like, once again, I don't know enough about that might fly out the door for that much money.
Yeah, I like to pick up a couple of items at a time and try them, and then once they've sold, I'll pick up a few more.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about bread and butter as well, because I think sometimes, as much as we laugh and joke, because call it, sourdough and truffle butter, I think sometimes not only is it different for everyone, but also even the speed of things leaving your store.
Yeah.
Sometimes, listen, anyone who tells me they don't have things which hang around their store, they're lying. It's just a simple fact.
Well, you never know. You never know what's going to hang.
I think, especially when you're trying new things out, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It's fun to try new things. I mean, I every now and then I'll pick a brand that I want to dabble in if I find it cheap enough to sort of try. I bought that Joe Brown's coat that one time, and it sold really well. It sold for 55.
And the comp was like amazing too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was top of the comps or something for the thing. But I like to try different brands alongside our sort of specialist items. And
this was lovely. It had no label, but it's amazing.
It's like almost like a hobby.
Yeah, I like a sideline. I do know what you understand. Yeah, I know what you say.
But you can build huge bases of business from bread and butter, and then obviously pick up like luxury items every now and then if you come across them, or whatever, however you sort of play the game.
Yeah,
but this is the stuff that gives you the cash flow, and in any business you need cash flow.
But you can't buy anything new without cash flow, I'm afraid. This is cool.
This is Marge, or some people don't say Marge, but I say Marge, by Anthropology. It's actually really nice. It's still in there. It's £28. I actually really like the brand. I picked up the brand many a time, not in collaboration with Anthropology, and for me it sells well. I know from some other people it doesn't sell as great, but I wouldn't pay 28 in collaboration with Anthropology.
This is Saint and
Sophia. Is it
Yep,
Sophia? This is a really cool tiered dress, maxi length.
The retail on these dresses is like crazy, but the resale, unless you get specific items, it's not
okay.
great. It was still worth picking up, don't get me wrong, 100%, but that was, like you said, that was pricey to buy in the first place, you know?
If you find any of their coats or leathers, they do really, really great money. The thing is, I've seen lots of people post before, you can pretty much pick up anything and resell it.
I agree with that.
That's a fact. It just depends on your margins, your marketing, and how you promote your listing.
I agree with that.
If you can make 2 look cool and want someone to buy it, then like do
you
it.
Win. Yeah, I agree with that.
Those shoes Austin is touching are campers. Campers are really having a moment right now. I'm shifting campers. This is in collaboration with Wilhelm, and they do really well. So look out for collaborations. That's a great place to sort of explore.
Camper actually have done a collab very recently, and that's why they're kind of bang on trend at the moment as well. I think that's why they're back in the kind of peripheral.
Yeah, they've made some really cool like woolen boots.
Like mad boots.
Oh, they're nice.
Go and check them online if you see.
However, don't believe everything you read. This is a brand called D-A-I.
That's what we call people in Wales called David. Die.
Die.
Will I die?
They want £18. I looked up the retail site and it is an expensive brand. There's no comps on eBay at all, or like any other reselling site. You know me, Crosslist McGee. It's an independent high-end brand. It's really strange. It's almost like a stockist only. So just because it says 18 doesn't normally mean it's a good brand, if that makes sense. This is Luella. Austin loves his jumper. He's obsessed with it.
So it was too bobbly. I honestly, like, Luella Cashmere sells really well all the time. I didn't sell for everyone. I can't say that. It sells for us really well. I was hurt in my soul because it had a stain. And once again, everyone know Cashmere dry clean. Once it's stained, even with the best dry cleaners in the world, most stains never, ever, ever come out of Cashmere, especially grey, white, or anything lighter in colour. It just hit my soul to put it back. I've seen it a few times since and wanted to cry.
I think you just like the rainbow.
I love a rainbow. Why not? What's wrong with a rainbow? A rainbow is just like happiness and joy, is it not?
Yes, it is. These are Pilker and the Letterpress. I love picking up Pilker and the Letterpress jeans. They sell really well between 25 and 30. Like literally, like I keep them rolling. These are Paige. Paige jeans hurt me a little bit because the retail is really high. I think in general denim hurts me. Because you can there are only a few brands that you can get that money back in.
Also quickly,
100% Mug Life.
Look at this. Austin, wait for it.
Austin really likes Cliff Richard.
1992. Like, hang on a minute. Let's go the other way. Who doesn't like Cliff Richard? Like
Me.
everyone.
I'm not a Cliffy
honestly
fan.
like I have very fond memories of mistletoe and wine as a small person, so I can't hate on Cliff. Just say what you will.
Strange.
Just can't do it.
Oh god, mugs are a great thing to flip for bread and butter money.
Unless they're Cliff Richard, in which case don't touch them.
Do you know it went? It wasn't there the next time I went in.
See,
this is Goat. This is Goat Library, so it's the.
Speaking of Cliff Richard and goats.
Yeah. What?
He's a goat.
Okay. Oh, I get it. This is
a
Goat Diffusion line. If you can find the Goat full line, the dresses go for bare money. And Kate Middleton wears them a lot, apparently. But Goat Library, I sell reasonably well, between 60 and 70 for a knit. So if you can pick it up. Today was the day of aquascutum.
Why would that be? Oh, look what we have.
Another example of an aquascutum I wouldn't pick up for £50 because it's red. Only because aquascutum is a very classic brand.
However, that one right there is a vibe.
This navy.
Leather edging, house check, navy.
So that check inside is their sort of like their Nova check.
And for anyone who doesn't know, as much as you might know this, you might not. So when you have a Burberry trench with the house check or the Nova check inside, their house check, obviously with Burberry, it would be like a beige outside.
Yeah.
Their classic is the navy outside.
Yeah.
So,
but their beige does sell very well. The trench coat
The navy's
well.
always the best one to pick up. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is lovely. It was £50. It was sold as seen, and the leather was minging.
Yeah, it was bad.
However, they're
This
really
wasn't.
nice. These are Ferragamo. These Salvatore Ferragamo.
Oh God.
That's how you say it.
Wait for the comments. No, you don't.
I did some consultancy in Ferragamo, and they
You did actually.
And they
it
told,
was an accent, so or how does how to
no,
pronounce
they
the name?
told me to say it with an accent.
With an accent, I know.
Yeah.
See, no one believes when we say these things. No one believes us.
Yeah.
But you sound like a jerk when you say.
Every
what's
time
that?
I had to say it to a
Givenchy?
customer, I had to say it. Salvatore
Louis Vuitton?
Ferragamo. Otherwise,
it's hard in Welsh as well, isn't it?
I got
Not
told
in
off.
Welsh, but in a Welsh accent.
Anyway,
Move on.
they're not the Verapumps, which are the most classic. They are a different pair, but they've got a really nice logo situation.
I gotta say, a lot of Ferragamo are older lady vibes. I can't lie, they still sell, and I don't know how, but they do. So buy them, buy them, buy them.
Austin just picks up some Clark's Wallabies and Clark's creepery things and Clark's like fun things. Clark's are great. Everyone loves the Clark's. Sweaty Betty. This is so cool though.
Sweaty Betty spell out on the back. We've saw this already, haven't we?
No, not yet. It's a muscle vest. How cool is that?
We did sell a vest this week, Sweaty Betty, didn't we?
Oh, yes, we sell Surf Betty.
Surf Betty, a surf. Who
This
knew?
is Majestic Finishers, which is actually a high-end brand. However, Resale is so-so.
Yeah.
It varies. I push it because I'm that person. But I know people don't have great experiences with it. But if it's cheap enough, I'll pick it up. I'll let it, chill in my shop.
One of these, speaking of bread and butter.
Toast.
Bread and butter toast, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see.
We'll move on.
I see.
One thing I absolutely loved about these was, boom, there.
The back
strap.
buckle.
Ugh.
Very utility-esque. Anything utility workwear from Toast is what you want to buy. And it flips and it sells and everyone's happy and we all make lots of money and live in a house made of sourdough and truffle butter. The end.
That sounds disgusting.
It sounds lush. Can you imagine some raw sea salt in that as well?
I'm partial to sea salt. Bye.